Hello and welcome to this will be week 3, hopefully, of I hope that's right. Should probably end Steam, but whatever. Yeah, this will be week 3 of the Pokespot Draft Cup. Going over the battles on screen, you can see the results. We have a win for Carl's Manila Manetrix, obviously. You didn't see a week 2, but I'm fairly sure Carl did win in week 2. Speaking of not winning in week 2, we have me losing 6-0 in week 3 to go 0-3. I did warn you all, the team I drafted is probably not the best team I ever drafted, but it looked kind of fun. I'm quickly finding giant weaknesses with my ability to deal with pretty much any offensive threat. Yeah, so I got 6-0'd. Dan took the win over Redmer. Redmer, a guy I was very, very scared of going into the draft. It's turned out so far to not be as scary, but I do play him next week, so maybe he'll show me just how fucking scary his team can be. I'll turn that music down a little bit just in case it's too loud. Jake loses again, actually, surprisingly. Did like his team at the start, but again, he's also finding some issues, namely the fact he drafted Converskin. Chauncey also took a 6-0 at the hands of Victor. Obviously, Alexi winning 6-3. Onkar took a very narrow win over Lewis, and Whitney, according to Fabian, got her ass eaten. First game, so we go into Carl versus Marisa. This game was fucking hype. Boswell is scary. It was AV Boswell, which pretty much walls. It was like a special sort of Persian. That's the word I was looking for. Special Persian. It did like 20% with Dark Pulse or some shit. He then tricked his scarf onto the Buzzwole pretty early on. That is not something you want to do. Look at that team. Tell me where his switch-ins are to Scarf Leech Life. Now tell me where his switch-ins are to +1 Scarf Leech Life. Don't exist. Ice Beam Scarf Mew took out a Zygarde for free. We learned it was Scarf Mew a little bit later. I think it outsped, was it Tornadus or something? Or +1 Gyarados? Oh, it might have outsped Blacephalon. So it was Scarf Mew, but it could have just been a Timid. At first I thought it might have just been Timid with like Expert Belt or something. Which is why I calced that it does kill from 100, 0 HP Zygarde, but I think it was a speedy Zygarde because 252 HP would have just about survived the Ice Beam. I think Kyle sort of disrespected the Mew. Either that or he just didn't really want his Zygarde. I don't know. After a few turns as well, we saw a Alolan Muck versus the Gyarados. Nice tech. The Alolan Muck set was something like Infestation, Protect, Shadow Sneak, and something else. Basically, he invested the Gyarados, and I thought it was a I'm not locked in here with you, you're locked in here with me sort of situation as Gyarados starts setting off on the Muck. But to be fair, the Infestation Muck put up a pretty good fight and was able to chip down the Gyarados so low that it was able to be taken out by a Scarf Mew. Or in the end, Tangela came in on it, and at +1, Ice Fang from Gyarados did 32% to Tangela. It was knocked out by Leaf Storm. That is why I have that screenshot at the bottom left of your screen saying, fuck this Pokemon, because straight up, fuck this Pokemon. I don't like this. Shouldn't be taking this little damage. It's crazy. Yeah, then Buzzwole got a Beast Boost. And it was game over from there. Buzzwole at +1, Leech Life. Nah, man. It KO'd the Victini from 51%. I think that was chipped by rocks a couple of times. Now I think about it, it probably wasn't. I think it took a hit earlier on. I can't remember what it took. Blacephalon was useless again because it's a useless Pokemon. But I just want to have a big shout out to Carl. Buzzwole set doesn't look that spectacular, but he did confirm in chat that he specifically chose 4 moves that he couldn't be reverse swept by the Ditto on his Buzzwole because his own Buzzwole couldn't 1v1 himself. If you get what I'm saying. Big brain. Love it. Yeah, Carl ends up taking the win. Buzzwole, I think, literally got 6 kills. That thing went absolutely insane. That's why Carl's team's scary, man. He lost Gyarados and Zygarde, and then just won with something else. Like, I don't know, man. Look how fucking big this team is. You know when you play Ubers, I think Joey Pokeyame said something like this before. No, it wasn't him. Ignore me. A friend of mine once said the whole point of playing Ubers is to just have the 6 biggest Pokemon you can think of. That's basically what Carl's done in Draft. He's just got 6 massive Pokemon and they just go crazy. Insane. Me versus Rudy. There isn't too much to be said here. It was a pretty poor game on my part. I went for a bit of a gimmick team. I had sticky webs and screens. The way I looked at it, Staraptor, Thundurus, Clamperl all had amazing matchups. And if I could get one of them set up and going, it was game over. Rudy bluffed the Starmie quite well. He kept clicking Psyshock, and he did a lot more than I thought it would to Cryogonal. Which was a really bad switch on my part. I should have calced. But I thought it was Scarf, because he kept clicking Psyshock when he had opportunities to Rapid Spin. And eventually got a free Rapid Spin, which was quite annoying for me, obviously. I was really happy with my Clefable set. Knowing Rudy had Suicune and Volcarona, I thought I'll run Psych Up Unaware. If he gets set up, come in, eat the hit easily because of Unaware, Psych Up, and then just reverse sweep him. I thought, fucking brilliant idea. Well done, me. Rudy was one step ahead of me. He was just sub-Z Volcarona. He did have Quiver Dance, but he just didn't click it. Fire Blasted once to chip the Clefable, and then just Z Fire Blasted behind the sub. Took me out, and it was at that point I was thinking, oh, I'm in deep trouble here. From preview, I knew Lucario was a threat. My extreme speed switch-ins, my switch-ins to Lucario don't exist, and in the late game, a Swords Dance extreme speed was really, really dangerous, especially with Clefable gone. But even then, that's starting to Meteor Mash or something. He also had double rocks. That really caught me off guard. He had rocks on Shuckle. I spanned them away, and then he went to Drodigon and set up rocks again. That was nice. And then he had a nice Sucker Punch play. On my Smeargle, I went to Rapid Spin the rocks away, and he Sucker Punched me. I was debating that or Healing Wishing into Staraptor. I don't think it really made much difference, but it was a nice flex anyway. Drodigon just straight up got 4 or 5 kills though. I disrespected the Drodigon quite a bit. I was so gutted though. Clamperl had such a good matchup against this team. I was HP Electric, Ice Beam, Hydro Pump, I think. At +2 behind a screen, it was pretty difficult for him to stop that set. But unfortunately his Drodigon was slower, so I got the Shell Smash defense drop and died to the Life Orb Outrage. If I was slower beforehand, could have Shell Smashed, then outsped it, killed it. I'd also teched it to it survived a +1 Bug Buzz through screens and got an extra speed boost from its ability. Having said that, +2 Clamperl didn't actually outspeed his Starmie, so kind of not that good. Starmie was actually, I kind of disrespected the Starmie. I kind of just thought Cryogonal would deal with it, but that was 2-hit KO quite easily by Psyshock, so poor prep from me, I guess, but I think Rudy played it really well. Yeah, that's all there is to say, really. I didn't even see Altaria. That could have been something crazy. Right, yeah, next. Dan versus Redmer. Dan prepped really well. He said he was really prepped for Horlucha. My hair's really starting to piss me off. He said he was really prepped for Horlucha, and it showed. From team preview, I was thinking Mamoswine's gonna go absolutely nuts. So, he does not have a switch in to Mamoswine. If it's something like Knockoff, Icicle Crash, Earthquake, Ice Shard, there's no switching on this team. Coco reveals Scarf turn 1 as he U-turned on the Zero Aura. Might have been nice to hide that. I'm not even sure why you need Scarf on the Coco. I guess he wanted to outspeed the Zero Aura, but at what cost? I don't know. Wait, no, it wasn't Scarf. Because it was Carmine later on. I don't know, I think it outsped the Zero Aura. Maybe it was just an Adamant Zero Aura. I don't know. There's something weird going on there. Anyway, Life Orb Zeraora just starts going absolutely mental from like turn 2. It knocks off the Light Clay off the Clef Key to stop the screens being up for too long, and then hits a nice close combat on the Mamoswine switch in. Probably was a bit risky going Mamoswine straight on the Zeraora, but I don't think he was expecting the close combat. It was a nice read. Hawlucha came in really early, like I don't know, probably 10 turns too early. Dan went straight to Comfy, and at that point, the alarm bells have to be ringing in your head. You're thinking like, "This is my win con." Comfy was Specs Draining Kiss, and that absolutely just destroyed Hawlucha. I mean, you look at Hawlucha and Sharpedo, Comfy's like, it's pretty nice. Specs Comfy with Draining Kiss, that's pretty nice against this team. And it turned out to be. I think it ended up getting quite a few kills. Between that and Zeraora, like, Redmer had no way to deal with it. Like, Zeraora was just putting in so much work. Like, it was knocking off, it was getting like plasma fists off, it was chipping things. Carmine Coco came in, got to like +4, and did like 30% to Chauncey. That was funny. Not really sure why it was Carmine Coco. When you know there's a Chauncey, but I don't know, man. I think it was probably to try and match the Comfy or something. But I guess you're not really expecting Chauncey when you've got Hawlucha Mamoswine. But yeah, props to Dan. Specs Comfy was a super sick tech. And he played very well. Yeah, I would say that. Jake versus Steve. Jake, I think it was like turn 2 or something. Tried to set up rocks on the Thunderous with his Mega Steelix, and I think in hindsight maybe a Stone Edge would have been better, but I guess you kind of want rocks against this team. Against a Slowking, a Tangrowth, a Scizor, you want these rocks up. He went Converskin on a Scissor Superpower. Converskin, I think the whole reason it was there was to beat Mega Scizor. It didn't do that. And then the other plan for Scizor was a really cool tech, to be fair. It was like Babbery Berry Shell Smash HP Fire. The idea being, that was my Facebook, not yours. I wouldn't worry about it. The idea being he eats a +2 Bullet Punch, and then so you Shell Smash on the turn they Swords Dance. They Bullet Punch, you eat it, you kill them with HP Fire, you win the game. Would have been brilliant if Meteor transformed the turn that it goes below 50%. In the end, Scizor survived on like 10% HP. It's Bullet Punched again, killed it. And you're thinking, game's over. Tang pretty much walled everything. What was it? There was a Heliolisk Specs crit on the Thunderous to kill that, but that was irrelevant in the end because Thunderous actually was pretty dangerous. It was like nasty plot Dark Pulse. It was putting in work. But then like Tangrowth walled everything. Until there was a Manaphy with 1 versus 4, the Manaphy. But it was rest with hydration against a rain team. Always dangerous. Toxic both the Slowking and the Tangrowth and beat them 1v1. But then Jake choked. He was confused from Hurricane or something. And instead of resting on a Z Draco, he decided to Toxic. And then just got knocked out. But Manaphy was super close to actually clutching the 1 versus 4. In the end, Jake didn't click rest when he should. I mean, he could have lost to there was a dodged Power Whip which would have won it. He could have lost to I don't know. Could have been he was confused as well, so he could have hit himself or something. But yeah, he chose not to rest on the Z Draco and actually cost him the win, which is displayed in the bottom left of your screen. Yeah, he took 52% for Z Draco. That's actually AIDS. I don't know how it survives that shit. It's crazy, crazy Pokemon. Victor versus Chauncey. This was a sad one. I'm not gonna lie. Infernape dodges a Toxic on Quagsire. which is pretty sad. But I think you have to expect. I expected Grassnot. I'm not gonna lie. I expected Grassnot Infernape to be that Quagsire. As soon as that Quagsire came in, I was like, "Oh, Grassnot coming, Grassnot coming." What I didn't fucking expect, was Nasty Plot Z Sunny Day. What's that? That's crazy, bro. He nasty plotted up on the. I think it was on the Sableye, which couldn't touch him because it was like knockoff Will-O-Wisp. You know, that old cancer set. And he Sunny Dayed so he could outspeed the Weavile. And then Solar Beamed. He Solar Beamed the fucking Quagsire and the Yalola Mamola. That's crazy, bro. Yeah, so when I did the power rankings, I looked at Victor's team and didn't think it looked that scary. You look at it there, fuck me, that's a big team, bro. It's big Pokemon, scare me. Yeah, so turn 1, there was a Specs Draco Meteor from Salamence that went wide, and then it knocked off, and like you find out it was Choice Specs. It's like, what the fuck is going on? You know you're in for a good game when turn 1 Salamence's Choice Specs get knocked off. It's pretty nice. But yeah, that Infernape set, fucking glorious. Love it. Obviously Infernape is like its niche in Gen 4 was always that it beat the Skarm Bliss core. It always beat Skarmory and Blissey. That was why it was so good. So it's always been a good wall breaker, but I did not expect it to just straight 6-0. 6 set from Victor, what we expect from him. That's why he's the professor. Yeah, big fan. There's not. I mean, Infernape's so horrible to deal with the stall team, or like a semi-stall team. And the Toxic Mist did really fuck him up a bit, but what can you do? Earl versus Alexi. So I think these were two teams that are around the middle of my power rankings, but I know Alexi is really fucking good at Pokemon. So I kind of favoured him going into it. But having looked at the teams, I really liked Earl's matchup. I think Excadrill could easily struggle to break through this. There's a Scizor, there's a Rotom Mow, there's a Swampert. Like, it's not easy for Excadrill to get through this team. And then Mega Houndoom outspeeds everything on his team. It can run like the Sunny Day set to kind of fuck with the Excadrill and the Ninetales. Its coverage is perfect. Like, it beats Sigalith. It beats this. It beats this. It beats this. It beats this. Machamp's a bit of a threat, but you know you can chip that down with other things. That shouldn't be a massive issue. When I looked at Alexi's team, I thought it might be Poisonium Excadrill. I couldn't remember what his uses were. I actually think Excadrill isn't one of them, but I think that would have been nice. Poison Jab certainly for that Rotom. Alexi, however, played it really well. He got Rocks up early, he got his Veil up, he got the Toxic on the Rotom Mow, which turned out to be Scarf, which I thought was an interesting choice. And then he got the switch into Machamp on... it was like Machamp versus the Houndoom or something. Like basically, Machamp had a free turn. Guts Machamp with a free turn is not a nice position to be in. I think he ended up killing the Rotom with it. Yeah, like Rotom, Machamp it had a free kill. It got a free turn, he got a kill. Ended up killing the Rotom, which made the game a little bit easier for Excadrill. Sigalith got to +1 again, and I was a bit worried, but it was Taunt Mega Houndoom. Was actually a pretty nice tech for Sigalith. Exca set up on the Swampert at one point, and after Earl had showed Scold, Alexi still wanted to set up in its face. It ended up going for Earthquake, and because Veil was up, it only did about 40%, so Excadrill just ended up getting a couple of kills off it. So it worked out, I suppose, but I did think it was a little bit brave setting up on a Scold Swampert. And then Scizor was in prime position to win. I think Powdon had died. Bulu and Ninetales were still alive, which don't want to be eating bullet punches. Machamp was chipped, and it was like Sigalith or... No, I think it was Excadrill was still alive or something. No, Machamp was dead. I think it was Sigalith and Excadrill. I was thinking, like, damn, Bullet Punch Scizor here looks absolutely nasty. He's got super power as well. He's been clicking that. But it ended up getting sacked on the Alolan Ninetales. which was like some nasty plot Blizzard set. It was pretty clean. But it was banded, I assume, because he kept clicking superpower. Instead of like sacking, what was alive at that point? It was Celebi, I think, or Swampert, which to me made a lot more sense. Because Scizor and Houndoom in the end game looked really nasty. Houndoom could beat the Sigalith, and then Scizor could beat the other three, like, if you played it really well. Because Scizor was just like, yeah, it was just so nasty in this game with the Hippowd Undead. But in the end, I think Earl's saying that Mega Houndoom outsped everything. So that was like his idea was that Mega Houndoom outsped everything and he was going to win using that. But Tapu Bulu ended up eating a Fire Blast from it anyway. Knocked it out with the Rockium, and then it knocked out Celebi with the Rockium and killed the Mega Houndoom afterwards, I think. Yeah, I think the Scizor sack was interesting. I think Alexi probably still would have just about squeaked through in the end. It's kind of sad to see Dragonite do absolutely nothing. I think he ended up getting sacked to the +2 Excadrill. I think, yeah, Dragonite kind of didn't do anything, but you really needed it to break through some of these Pokemon. I think. Like it could have had a really good matchup, but it just ended up just getting thrown away, and I think that was a big part of the reason Earl ended up losing. He had to sack 2 Pokemon to Machamp and Excadrill because they were just so scary. Yeah, so Alexi just played it really well. I don't even think he had a particularly good matchup, but he's just so good. Onkar versus Lewis. Now, yeah, this was... I was very surprised to see a Magnezone. Lewis doesn't have any Steel types. I checked, he doesn't have any Steel types, I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong. No, he does. He has a Heatran, but like, you don't want to trap a Heatran with your Magnezone. So I was very suspicious when I saw that. Onkar then stayed in on the Mega Pidgeot with his Pinsir. I believe it was. He said it was a misclick. Yeah, there's the calc, just in case. 150 to 175% it ain't eating that. And then I think the Kyurem Black got a turn. I think Kyurem Black came in on the Jellicent at some point. Jellicent came into like Wall Keldeo or some shit. Oh no, it was after Mega Pidgeot. You turned on the Jellicent. Jellicent's just straight up ate a Fusion Bolt. Will-O-Wisp the Kyurem, that's severely reduced the threat of that Pokemon. It was kind of useful. If it's some like Earth Power Fusion Bolt set was like blasting through this core. Maybe with Iron Head as well. Like you can break through this three Pokemon core. And leaves just like the squishy like offensive mons. But yeah, like Jellicent, the MVP, just straight up eats a Fusion Bolt, burns it, crazy. Jellicent walks up to your girl in the club, eats a Fusion Bolt, burns her. What you're doing is how I described it, because I'm a poet. Scarf Jump Outrage, yeah, that was another game of Find the Switch In. That thing clicked Outrage on the Kyurem Black, and then Lewis decided to go Crossoll and try and Shell Smash. Didn't go well. It took 65% before the Shell Smash drop, and was still outsped afterwards. I wanted to see what Crossoll could do, because it actually did have quite a decent matchup, if it had some sort of like Dark move or something for the Jelly. But yeah, it kind of got smashed by the Garchomp, who, to be fair, did like, I mean, look at these Garchomp switch-ins. Where are they? They don't exist. So Scarf Jump was a good choice again. Then there was a nice predict. I think Lewis clicked Hidden Power Electric on the Garchomp to kill the Jelly. That was quite nice. Analytic. So I assumed it was Analytic Magnezone, but it did like 65% to the Nido. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Let's go back. Nope, that's not what I said though, is it? Technical issues. I apologise. Unkar vs Lewis. Right, there we go. So unless it was Spadef Nidoqueen, because that would have taken... It took 65%. If it was no HP Nidoqueen, it took 8602. I think with HP it took like 75 to 87. So it needed to be pretty high Spadef if it was Analytic, because it was Life Orb. Presumably modest. It could have been a timid Analytic set. I don't know. And then after that, it came down to, as it was like Sylveon and Ambipom versus like a burnt Decidueye, and it basically came down to, I think Sylveon killed the Kyurem, or it killed the, what did it kill? Might have been the Pidgeot. I think it might have eaten a Pidgeot Hurricane, killed that, and then it ended up in a 1v1. It was Garchomp and Sylveon versus Keldeo. Keldeo had to Icy Wind to kill the Garchomp, and then Sylveon just comes in and eats it easily, because I think it was a Specs or Scarf set. Scarf, I think. And ended up just getting hyper-voiced by the Sylveon. So I didn't see Sylveon being the late game cleaner, but I mean, realistically, Hyper Voice is pretty nasty against this team. Only Nidoqueen eats it. And that was pretty pressured by the Magnezones. The Magnezone did end up being pretty damn useful, like chipping that Nidoqueen super hard for the Sylveon to win in the end. So yeah, I think Onkar ended up playing it well after sacking his Mega Pinsir, which is an interesting decision. Fabian versus Whitney, the last battle. Every single nickname I think in this game was something to do with eating ass, which was interesting. No Mudsdale, no party. I'm not saying Whitney lost because she didn't bring Mudsdale. I'm just saying there is a correlation between not bringing Mudsdale and not winning. Turn 1, T-Star straight up just like stayed in on a Tornadus, ate a superpower, T-waved it, and then got rocks up in its face. Like that's a pretty nice start. Like you're pretty happy about that. And then like Fabian just bought in Terrakion and was just like, you got to pick one, ain't you? You got to pick a Pokemon to die. I think Espeon took like 80% from a Stone Edge. And I think it Wish passed into the T-Tar. The T-Tar set was the weirdest shit I've ever seen. It was like Dragon Tail, Pursuit, Thunder Wave, and like fucking Toxic or some shit. I don't know, Protect. I don't know. It was some scuffed ass set, I'm telling you. I'm not really sure what the Pursuit was for. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what it was that you were scared of and you wanted to pursue, but it kind of just ended up being not really doing much. There's a couple of times you tried to get the pursuit on something and it would just end up doing like 10%. I don't know. I think like Bantar would have been much nicer, because then you can actually try and break through this fucking cancer ass team. That Amoonguss is just so AIDS. Like, it ate a fat, like Burnett came in and I was thinking like, oh, you know, Burnett stall breaker type Pokemon, what can it do? Just like fucking dies to a foul play. It's just cancer. Like, and then it ate. Whitney tried to set up with nasty plot on the Houndoom, got clear smogged, fire blasted like 50%. Amoonguss switches out and survives. Just goes to like Porygon or something. Oh no, I think it went to Terrakion on a Dark Pulse. And she's got the justified boost, and at that point it's like, oh, fuck me. Like, where are your +1 close combat switches? Celesteela took like 90% for a +1 close combat. It killed the Houndoom. And then it was like, it came down to like Araquanid versus Charizard. Charizard just like raw dragon clawing, ended up like going through, and I thought, alright, game over, like this just clicks Fire Punch now and wins. Scarf Celesteela killed the Charizard, the crowd went fucking wild. And I was like, oh, it's pretty fucking hype, and then it just like fizzled out. I think Porygon 2 just walled the fuck out of everything because it's cancer. Disgusting fucking, like, I just hate this team so much. Can somebody beat him? Somebody just beat Amoonguss and fucking Porygon. I hate this shit so much, dude. It's so AIDS. But no, another week of fucking Rotom, Amoonguss, Tornadus, fucking Porygon 2, just cancer, man. Somebody beat this team, like, who drafted Mega Medicham? Who did it? I should have drafted you know what would be this? Like, if you had a tier 5, just normal Medicham, straight up, like, how does he switch into that? How does he switch into that? He doesn't. And then you can, like, scarf it or some shit to beat the Tornadus. I don't know. I'm spitballing. I want Fabian to lose so bad because his team is just so horrible. Whoever plays Fabian next, just bring something disgusting to get rid of this Amoonguss. I hate that Pokemon so much. Yeah, I think Whitney I think I think she was relying a little bit on Espeon and Nasty Plant Houndoom to break through the core. Espeon just like took a Stone Edge really early on, so it couldn't do too much. Araquanid never really got going. I don't know. She didn't seem to bring too much to break through the defensive core. But again, like, how do you get through it? I don't know. I don't know how you get through a Moongus Rotom Paragon 2. You draft Hooper on bound. That's how you do it. But yeah, that's every battle from the week 3. Didn't do a week 2 video, unfortunately. I got a little bit caught up with stuff. Enjoy your week 4 battles, and hopefully when we next speak, I will be 1 and 3 instead of 0 and 4. See you soon.